Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you guys heard about this story that came out of St. Louis, but this is a narrative that we've been talking about all year long, and that is mom's boyfriend. And I'm just curious, am I ever going to wake up and there's going to be a day where I'm not going to get these same exact type of stories? I talk about this narrative so much, and I just really, really hope that people will figure out that there is a problem when you're dating somebody and you have kids and they have a long criminal history, longer than an Olympic swimming pool, that there might be a problem and you might not need to have your kids around that person. Everybody understand where I'm coming from? I think it's a simple concept. It doesn't mean all, and I know that some of y'all might enjoy the dudes that y'all are with, but in this case, we have another mother and kids, all three of them that have bit the dust behind this individual. Let's talk about this. After killing a woman and her two young daughters, so I'm assuming that these were not his kids, in their Dutchtown home, the woman's former boyfriend, meaning they apparently already broke up, the woman's former boyfriend bought a bus ticket to flee east, police said in court records on Friday. Ronald S. Marr, let me see if I can get his ugly, ugly face back up on this screen. Y'all look at this clown. Ronald S. Marr, 34 years old, was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and armed criminal action. He was captured 100 miles from St. Louis in Effington, Illinois. So he came to kill the mom and the kids. I don't know what the kids could have possibly done to elicit this type of behavior. But then he turned around and ran like a bitch, right? It's what bitches do. St. Louis police said that the 3 victims, and let me see if I can get their face up on the screen so you guys can understand. We're talking about a 30-year-old mother by the name of Kenesha Hempfield, 8-year-old little girl by the name of Journey, and a 1-year-old boy, I'm assuming, Jakari. And they were each shot multiple times. They were each shot multiple times at the 4124 South Grand Boulevard. Officers responding to the call for shots fired went into the home at about 7 a.m. Thursday, and they found all 3 of them dead. Marr was being held Friday in the Effington County Jail, and he wore an orange and white striped jumpsuit during a brief court hearing held by video conference before Effington County Judge Jeffrey DeLong or before the judge. An attorney assigned to represent Marr told DeLong that Marr did not know how to read. Why is that detail even important? It's just important to me. And I'm gonna tell y'all, to the family and friends, I know this is very sad, and I definitely don't mean to pile on, because I know that you guys have a lot to deal with. This is very difficult to lose a family friend, a mother, and the mother to lose her kids. For the grandparents, I know this is hard. But the truth is also a difficult pill to swallow. This mother was dating a man who could not read. What does that say about a person and their self-esteem if you're willing to stoop so low to date somebody who was a lifelong criminal, and on top of that, the dude can't read? Please, somebody in the chat, let me know if y'all heard what I just said. That's pretty low, and that's just dumb. So the attorney had to read the court documents to him about waiving extradition. So if the nigga can't read, then I'm pretty sure that he don't know what the hell waiving extradition means, right? I'm pretty sure. So the attorney told him about waiving his extradition, which would allow St. Louis detectives to bring him back to Missouri to stand trial on the murder charges. Marr at first waived it, then he refused, then flip-flopped again, mumbling at times so that court officials could not understand his words. Maybe he's intelligent enough to try to play the courts in that manner, but maybe he truly didn't understand what the actual stuff meant. I don't know. but ultimately he refused to waive extradition. Marr will remain in Effington County Jail without bail until a hearing on February the 25th, according to DeLong. A St. Louis judge said that once authorities are able to return Marr to Missouri, he will not be allowed bail there. In court records, St. Louis Police Detective Catherine Runn said that a witness heard shots Thursday and saw a man run from the home. The witness identified Marr in a photo lineup, which is good. Somebody saw something and said something. Yes? Yes. Hashtag date thugs, date death. Thank y'all for posting that. Thank y'all for posting that. After the shooting, Marr threw away his cell phone and bought a replacement. He then bought a Greyhound bus ticket and fled. Now I'm wondering how he was able to do all of that stuff, but he can't read. How would he know? I don't know. I don't know. Police did not provide a motive for the killings, but I just told y'all the motive because he's the ex-boyfriend and she probably had this dude living off of her because I'm assuming he don't have a job, and all his job was to give the mom personal pleasures. His job wasn't to take care of the kids, wasn't to do nothing. It was just to make mom happy, right? Because mom has all the help she needs, however she was living, whether she worked, whether she had food stamps or child support, whatever it was, but she had enough to take care of herself that this man could come in and just take advantage of everything that she got based on having those kids, okay? Now, Henfield's older brother by the name of Jermaine Walker, this is the mom's brother, said that he had seen Marr before and knew Marr and his sister had domestic problems. They called him Little Ron, he said. I didn't really care for him. They had a few instances, and I always told my sister, leave the guy alone. But she ended up having a baby by him. Wow. Okay, so I guess the youngest kid is his. So he ended up murdering one of his own kids. Sheesh. The baby was Jakari and called by nickname Riri. Riri just turned 1 year old, Walker said, and Marr probably came to woo my sister and say, baby, open the door. She had no idea he was going to do that, and she opened the door. Walker said the family is reeling from the deaths. The death penalty would be too easy for him. He should have ate the bullet right after that. And I understand what they're saying. Outside the duplex where the three were killed, a stream of people stopped by Friday afternoon to add to a memorial of balloons and stuffed animals piled around a light pole. Most were pink and purple in honor of the girls' favorite colors. That's very nice. It's very sweet. Henfield's older brother, C.C. Dutch, sat on the sidewalk in front of the memorial, interrupted occasionally by passing cars honking or drivers yelling condolences about the loss of children so young. Over 2 hours, more than 50 people gathered on the lawn of the home, and I'll show you guys that video, which is that one right there, and they gathered on the lawn. I feel like I failed her. She's so far away now, he said. I didn't want to believe it. I'll never be complete now because Kanisha was a big part of my life. Dutch said that she had a playful sense of humor and was a dedicated mother. He added to the crowd a warning. Watch out for bad relationships, and to the men, never hurt a woman in your life. You know what my hashtag is? Hashtag stupid is as stupid thugs. Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. I'm not going to even say my other hashtags because I don't want to be too disrespectful with this story, but y'all know I've got a couple of other ones that go right along with this. Marr's only criminal conviction is listed in the police probable cause statement is for possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of a controlled substance. He was given a suspended sentence in 2017 in that case, and there is no mention of it online in court records. Marr lives in the on the 10,100 block of New Bowl Drive and Bellefontaine neighbors, according to the charges, and police, however, said that he lived on the 500 block of Roberts Avenue in St. Louis, and he had no attorneys listed in court records because more than likely he's probably going to take on a public pretender. I mean, public defender. Let me give you guys the fair usage and let me let you hear the news videos. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. We got a young woman in the chat, and I want to shout you guys out. The live chat is open. If you guys would, do me a favor and click that thumbs up. It will help share this stream. So try to get us to 400 thumbs up tonight. We got a young woman in the chat said, I live in St. Louis, and this is the second woman that got killed by baby daddy. Isn't that something? Why are we not learning? Why are we not learning, people? Let's go.
This morning at approximately 7 o'clock a.m., our officers received a call for shots fired in the 4100 block of South Grand. Upon entering the home, they discovered a female, approximately 30 years old, and two younger children, one about 7, both females, and the other approximately 1-year-old. All three were deceased upon their arrival. Very tragic situation, very gruesome scene. Right now what we're doing is we want to ask anybody with any information whatsoever to come forward to our homicide division. This is not being investigated as a suicide. This is being investigated as a homicide. And so again, we're asking any and everyone that has any information about this situation to contact our homicide division or Crime Stoppers. But again, at about 7 o'clock a.m. this morning, officers got a call for shots fired, and this is the 4100 block of South Grand. Upon entering to the home, they discovered 3 persons deceased. Apparently the mother, approximately 30 years old, and 2 smaller female children, one approximately 7 and the other one approximately 1-year-old. Again, this is not being investigated as a suicide. And so we're asking the public to come forward with any information to provide to the homicide division or Crime Stoppers. We need to solve this. And we can, but we have to have people come forward. Thank you.
A Fox 2 follow-up now. A South St. Louis community shaken by the murders of a mother and her 2 young daughters, gathered to remember those victims tonight.
Fox 2's Zara Barker attended a vigil for them this evening. Zara joining us now with more on this horrible crime. Zara.
Right now, as St. Louis Metro Police are still investigating this crime, the family is in mourning, and tonight dozens went back to exactly where this tragedy happened. Balloons, candles, and teddy bears now fill the front of the home on South Grand where 30-year-old Kenesha Hemphill and her 2 daughters live. Friends and family in mourning of 3 lives taken too soon. For now, they're holding on to each other and letting go of balloons to remember Kenesha, 7-year-old Journey, and 1-year-old Ja'Cory. This vigil just feet away from where the 3 of them were shot to death inside the home. Our Bommarito Automotive Group Skyfox flew over Thursday morning's scene while investigators put the pieces together. Police have this man in custody, 34-year-old Ronald Marr. He faces 3 counts of first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Police arrested him in Effingham, Illinois, Thursday afternoon. There's no bond in his case, and police have not yet released a motive. The family tells us Marr knew the victims. This isn't the first time the family of 8 brothers and sisters have dealt with a death.
My brother was the baby boy and she was the baby girl. Both lost to gun violence. It's sad. Sad.
Kenesha worked as a home health care aide and recently took care of her 84-year-old father. The St. Louis Crisis Nursery shared a statement on the tragedy and urged anyone feeling particularly vulnerable to reach out for help. They said, quote, "We heard about a tragic incident that involved a child in this neighborhood, and we just wanted to extend our support. There is so much happening during this pandemic that is producing so much stress for so many." And the victim's family has set up a GoFundMe page to help with all 3 of their funeral expenses. You can find a link to that GoFundMe page up on our website, fox2now.com. Live from police headquarters, Zara Barker, Fox 2.
I almost forgot to tell you guys, there was a GoFundMe. I don't think I showed it on the screen, but if you guessed that they have a GoFundMe up and guessed that they did not have any type of life insurance, which is something I've been talking about for a long time, because I believe that everyone, and I just talked to my mother about this recently, so shout out to my mom. I don't know if she's watching, it's really late right now, but shout out to my mother because we just had a conversation and my mom gave me kudos for at least bringing the subject up, making sure that me as a father, that I have it on my daughter to make sure that I have myself taken care of. That's something that we've been talking about as a family for a long time, to make sure, because just as sure as you are born, we will die, and somebody's going to have to be responsible for the cost of the death. Why not take care of your own cost, especially when it doesn't cost very much to just get insurance? And if you cannot afford insurance, then you probably can't afford to be a parent, okay? Let me show you guys the GoFundMe, and like I said, I know it's people that are not going to deal with what I just said very well, but it's my belief. And I feel like on my page, I ought to be able to speak my thoughts, my beliefs. They were asking for $10,000 between these 3 deaths. I think based on what we've been seeing with these GoFundMes, I think that's reasonable. And it looks like they are going to reach their goal to at least say their farewell and take care of their final expenses for Kenesha and the 2 kids. But they were asking for $10,000. They're at $9,000, so they will reach their goal here. But nonetheless, I wanted to make sure you guys knew about that. All right, let's keep going.
A Fox 2 follow-up now. A South St. Louis community shaken by the murders of a mother and her 2 young daughters, gathered to remember those victims tonight.
Fox 2's Zara Barker attended a vigil for them this evening. Zara joining us now with more on this horrible crime. Zara.
Right now, as St. Louis Metro Police are still investigating this crime, the family is in mourning, and tonight dozens went back to exactly where this tragedy happened. Balloons, candles, and teddy bears now fill the front of the home on South Grand where 30-year-old Kenesha Hemphill and her 2 daughters live. Friends and family in mourning of 3 lives taken too soon. For now, they're holding on to each other and letting go of balloons to remember Kenesha, 7-year-old Journey, and 1-year-old Jacory. This vigil just feet away from where the 3 of them were shot to death inside the home. Our Bommarito automotive group Skyfox flew over Thursday morning's scene while investigators put the pieces together. Police have this man in custody, 34-year-old Ronald Marr. He faces 3 counts of first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Police arrested him in Effingham, Illinois, Thursday afternoon. There's no bond in his case, and police have not yet released a motive. The family tells us Marr knew the victims. This isn't the first time the family of 8 brothers and sisters have dealt with a death.
My brother was the baby boy and she was the baby girl. Both lost to gun violence. It's sad. Sad.
Kenesha worked as a home health care aide and recently took care of her 84-year-old father. The St. Louis Crisis Nursery shared a statement on the tragedy and urged anyone feeling particularly vulnerable to reach out for help. They said, quote, "We heard about a tragic incident that involved a child in this neighborhood, and we just wanted to extend our support. There is so much happening during this pandemic that is producing so much stress for so many."
Matter of fact, let me take a pause real quick and give a shout out. We got somebody in the chat who said that they gave as a birthday gift life insurance to their son's kids. That's dope. Matter of fact, I also want to shout out the people who ended up getting life insurance on their children behind watching my show. So, you know, I think that would be awesome. Maybe if Gerber Life, and you guys can go to gerberlife.com to get quotes and stuff like that. Get them on your children. Look them up. It's not that expensive. Like me, I have AAA. So there, I mean, there's a lot of different places you can look up and get life insurance from, right? But I shout out the people who, you know, realize that the responsible thing to do is to get life insurance. And if you got it because of my show, then I'm just honored. Thank you so much for, you know, I'm glad that my words mean something.
Tonight, a suspect in custody in the killing of a mother.
And also, we need to have candle-lit vigils and no more balloons. Stop polluting the atmosphere. Stop polluting your neighborhoods with balloons. That's a silly thing to do with all these balloon releases. Stop doing that stuff. Have candlelit vigils if we're going to celebrate a life of somebody, and stop just trashing your communities. I just don't like that.
and her 2 young children in South St. Louis.
News 4 was on the scene this morning as family members learned a woman and her 2 young daughters were shot to death in their home in the Dutchtown neighborhood.
And these pictures into our newsroom of the family, Kenesha Hemphill and her daughters Journey and Jakari. The St. Louis Police Chief tonight calling the crime scene traumatic.
I want to thank you for joining us. I'm Samantha Jones.
And I'm Corey Stark. Police announced an arrest in that case in just the last hour. The family was found inside a home on South Grand. That's near Marquette Park in the Dutchtown neighborhood. Ray Preston has been speaking with the victim's family and is working to get more information about this suspect. Ray?
Well, police got a call about 7 o'clock this morning for shots fired. So it was this part of South Grand where they responded. Now, see that small memorial there on the utility pole? It was right in front of the house, that duplex up there, where they went inside, and that is where they found the 3 victims. 30-year-old Kenesha Hemphill and her 2 young daughters. Now, Hemphill's sister spoke with News 4.
She was a beautiful person, great mother, great daughter, great sister. My niece is just precious.
Oh man, look, and I know this might be a minor gripe, but why do we continue to walk outside in public, be on camera? Like, I don't understand why we have to be on camera so bad and be seen so bad, but your hair can't be seen with these, I don't know what you call them damn things. Stop wearing that bull crap on your head. Y'all know Tommy talks about that all the time. Shout out to Tommy. That's his talking point. You can't unsee it once you've heard Tommy talk about it. But we look so silly as a community. I know it ain't all, and I know it's why people do it too. Whatever. I wish we would stop doing it. It looks silly. It looks nasty. It looks uncouth. Okay? It looks uncouth. Stop doing it.
Lives just taken away.
Stop coming out in public looking like that.
Now, Walker arrived on the scene only to be told that her sister and 2 nieces had been killed. The family has identified the 2 little girls as 8-year-old Journey Walker and 1-year-old Jakari Walker. Now, police say all 3, the mother and the 2 little girls, had been shot to death. Police Chief John Hayden described the scene that officers came upon when they entered the home as tragic and gruesome.
There's a lot of disturbing evidence inside, and it's very disturbing, and I'm sure it's traumatizing to the officers that went in, and so that's the type of scene I'm referring to.
Now, Hemphill's family described her as funny and playful, a beautiful person. They described her as a good soul. Now, right now, we are trying to get more information from police, including obviously the suspect's name and any other information they might be able to release on this case. Reporting live from South St. Louis.
A man is now in custody after a triple homicide on South Grand. Police say the victims are a 30-year-old woman and her 2 young children.
Fox 2's Zara Barker talked with the family and has the latest on the investigation this evening. Zara.
Good evening. St. Louis Metro Police say they took a 34-year-old man into custody in connection with this case. I talked with the family tonight who says that's a sigh of relief.
Mommy, I love you so much. And I hope you have the best Valentine's Day.
I don't know if y'all can see that message right there. I'm gonna try to make that a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. This came from her daughter. You guys should be able to see this, and this came from Journey. Little Journey said, "Mommy, I love you so much, and I hope you have the best Valentine's Day." And I'm going to tell you, that is such a sweet message, and that's really all that's left of that baby's legacy. That's a very sweet message, and the fact that that little girl was just thinking about her mom, I think that was really sweet of her. I really do. And kids can be so sweet, and that's why I can't understand somebody that will rob children of the opportunity to grow up and become something great.
Journey Hemphill.
An early Valentine's note 7-year-old Journey gave her mom was hanging on the fridge of their South Grand home. The note was saved, but 3 lives were not, and the note hung in a crime scene.
They don't deserve that. No one. No one. These were babies. My sister, she didn't do nothing to nobody.
Our Bommarito Automotive Group Skyfox flew over the scene Thursday morning after St. Louis Metro police officers responded to a call for shots fired. When they got to the 4100 block of South Grand, they found 3 people, 30-year-old Kenesha Hempel, 7-year-old Journey, and 1-year-old Jakari, all dead from gunshot wounds. St. Louis Metro Police Department
Beautiful little babies, too.
Chief John Hayden said the scene inside the home was traumatic.
They shot them in the bed with their mama. How could somebody kill anybody?
Police say they have a 34-year-old man in custody, but they're still trying to find a motive. The family tells us they believe the suspect in custody knew the victims.
Why? That's all I want to know. Why?
This isn't the first death from gun violence in the family of 8 brothers and sisters.
We were just all sitting talking about plans of moving. Because I just lost a brother 10 years ago. And now, my baby sister and my 2 nieces.
Now, if you have any information in regards to this case, police are asking you to contact authorities or Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen to remain.
34-year-old Ronald Marr now faces charges in a triple homicide in South City yesterday morning. Marr is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and armed criminal action. A mother and her 2 young daughters were killed. Police haven't released details on the shooting and how that happened, but say the suspect is a former boyfriend of the mother. And these are pictures of the victims, Kenesha Hemphill and her 2 daughters, 8-year-old Journey and 1-year-old Jakari. They were discovered inside their home on South Grand yesterday morning.
We are busy following just a number of breaking news stories right now, and we begin with this. A mother and her 2 young daughters gunned down and killed inside their home in South St. Louis. News 4's Damon Arnold has more as police search for the suspect and their call for help.
A very tragic situation this afternoon in the Dutchtown neighborhood just off of South Grand, where a mother and 2 young daughters have lost their lives after being shot to death. Now the police department is asking for any information that could uncover details that we do not know at this time. Here's what we know so far. Officers were called to a home around 7 a.m. to the 4100 block of South Grand near Merrimack. It was there where police found a 30-year-old woman and 2 girls ages 1 and 7 shot to death. It's all coming from the St. Louis Police Chief John Hayden, who adds that the woman appears to be the girl's mother.
There's a lot of disturbing evidence inside, and it's very disturbing, and I'm sure it's traumatizing to the officers that went in. We need to solve this, and we can, but we have to have people come forward.
Again, police are asking for your help. You can contact Crime Stoppers, and again, you can keep up with this story on our KMOV mobile news app as well as on KMOV.com. Right now, I'm in Dutchtown. Damon Arnold, News 4.
And I'm going to tell you guys this. Let me give you all my closing thoughts about this particular story. Look, I'm going to tell you guys this because I know the family isn't going to understand where I'm coming from, but I have to be honest, in my honest heart of hearts. These children, these beautiful little babies, I don't know, is that a girl or a boy? I can't tell with this one right here. It doesn't matter. Those are beautiful little babies. And I really wish they had an opportunity to grow up and become something great, and they can't. And I'm going to speak the harsh truth. And the harsh truth is that those babies didn't get a chance to grow up and become something great because mom had an affinity for thug lions. Mom liked to go to the thug zoo, and mom decided to take her children and set them inside the thug lion cage and put these children's lives in danger. Because I'm going to tell y'all, ladies, if your man can't read, you should not be in a relationship with him, let alone him being around your kids. Huh? Because I'm going to tell you, in this day and age, in the past 20, 30, 40 years, if you have not learned to read, I don't think you should be having sex. Am I wrong for saying that? I don't think I am. So I'm going to say it again. I don't think that anybody who can't read, I don't think anybody who is illiterate should be having sex. They should not be procreating. They should not be around children, let alone being in full-blown relationships. I mean, am I wrong for saying that? I just think it's just, It's like Dumb and Dumber, like just we're already in impoverished situations, and then it's like we make it worse. That's called exacerbating a problem. Okay, we're already living in circumstances that are not conducive to having children, especially when the neighborhoods are violent, especially when the neighborhoods are poor, especially when we are disenfranchised. To turn around and invite somebody into your home who can't freaking read. He is an idiot. He is stupid. That is a stupid grown man. Huh? Not doing anything with his life, not doing anything productive. He's not a conducive member to society. And if we continue to keep just acting like this is not a problem, like this is not the root cause, then I don't really know what we're doing in our society. The root cause is that we are creating thugs and procreating with thugs. I'm going to say that slower. Creating thugs, dating thugs, procreating with thugs. Remember, thug does not have a color attached to it. Thug is the behavior, not the color. Then we turn around and have kids by them, and I'm continuing to wonder how many more of these stories are we going to continue to do? How many more of these stories are people going to have to email me? You should not have to struggle to leave a relationship with somebody like this illiterate fool. Don't get involved. Don't get into a situation and then figure out how do you fix it. Don't get yourself into the situation, especially when you see the signs and you hear people like me tell the truth and you realize what the red and yellow flags are. Those are your warning signs. Do some background checks. Figure out who you're, like, I don't understand why we don't vet people that we're having unprotected sex with. Why are we not checking on people that we're having unprotected sex with? It's not the end all be all, but it'd be a great place to start. Our children should not have to fight for our bad choices. We should fight for our children by not putting them in these situations. If you don't understand my words, I can't do nothing for you. And this problem is going to continue to keep happening. Let me say this. To those babies, I want to wish them, and I know mom didn't intend for this to happen, but I definitely wish for those babies' souls, R.I.P. To this individual, I'm sure he's going to get life in prison, but if they could give him more than life, give him triple life, quadruple life, the death penalty, whatever it is, it still won't be enough, and it would definitely never bring those babies back, but we definitely want to see justice, okay? I'm DJ Just J, where we keep it real over here at the AFC, and we're going to continue to give our children a voice. Don't get mad at my words. Get mad at the actions and the behavior of children that are being taken advantage of by their caretakers, okay? Let me go ahead and bring up our next story since my record button isn't working right now, but it's okay. I'll try to fix it. It just gives me more work to do. It's quite all right. Let me bring up our next story. How many of you guys heard about the story of the little girl? Well, she wasn't really a little girl. She was 13. She was a young teenager, same age as my daughter. But the girl that was caught inside of a vehicle when somebody drove off, stole the car and drove off with the car, and this little girl ended up being dragged to her death. How many of y'all heard about this story? We're going to speak real briefly about this, but I have a lot to say when it comes to, I know people are making judgment calls on the parents saying they shouldn't have left this kid in the car. So we're going to talk about all of that, okay? Let me go ahead and get this story up here. Oh, matter of fact, real quick, let me do this, because I know, wow, oh my goodness. I definitely missed a couple of donations. I am reading them right now. And I want to thank y'all because this company ended up charging me quite a bit for what I just had to fix to keep this stream rolling. But I did come up to with a solution for it. But I got to say, I think that the AFC family actually covered it and some. So I need to thank a couple of people First of all, Leanne Engel, if you're in the chat, I need to shout you out. And you said you, hold on, it just went away. Let me pull it back up. Leanne just donated to the show. Let me read her message if I can get it to pull up. Come on, come on. You are the only person I subscribe and donate to. I fully believe in what you do and the truth you tell. Please keep up the great work, Jay. Thank you. Leanne Engel, I'm going to keep the amount that you donated private. And I got to tell you, not only does it help so much, especially for things like what I had to do at the beginning of the show. I mean, I guess I'll tell you guys who donate and the moderators and channel members. I'll tell you guys what I had to do after the stream is over. But I want to say thank you so much. You and so many other people make this possible. You guys with your channel memberships, people on Patreon, everybody. Okay, so thank you very much. Let me also say thank you to Lynn Eversley. Let me also say thank you to Dominic Evans in the chat, who took on the $5 challenge, said thank you for your work, and I got your Cash App, so thank you very much. Thank you also to MoLove67. I read it first. Said keep up the good work and took on the $20 challenge in the Cash App. So if you're listening, I want to say thank you to you as well, and also Jimmy D. And let me also say thank you to Lisa Tucker Allen, who donated in the super chat, and I had one other person who donated in the super chat earlier. I can't see it now, but I want to thank you as well. Let's talk about this next story. And if you guys want to know how to donate, the best place to do is Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal, which the links are in the description box, so you don't even have to look for them. You could just click them and select one. So let's talk about this. Do I have the news videos? I do not have them up yet. Let me get those news videos real quick. I need one more. Pull up, come on. There we go. All right, I got my news videos ready to go. If you guys would, do me a favor and click that thumbs up if you haven't already done so. Let's talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, the individual that you guys see on my screen is somebody who should not be in our society, nor should he have been in our society at the point that this tragic incident happened in a place called Wichita, Kansas. I am familiar with Wichita because, believe it or not, I have lived in more than just Texas. I used to live in a place that was very close to Wichita, okay? And it's a nice place, but just like all places, you just got some bad apples that need to be weeded out. There's a little girl in this case. Let me see if I can get her face up on the screen. And I want y'all to look at this bright smile, this happy young girl. She is the same exact age as my daughter. This is 13-year-old Brianna I can't pronounce her name. Brianna Ibarra. I want to put some respect on her name. Brianna Ibarra was 13 years old, and she's from Wichita, Kansas. And she died on February the 6th, which was only a few days ago. After this baby, this young teenage girl was dragged while trying to escape her family's SUV that had been stolen while she was still inside of it. I'm sure that girl was scared. I'm absolutely sure she was terrified, okay? Now, according to a press release from the Wichita Police Department, the individual, let me see if I can get his stupid face back up on the screen. This dummy, his name is 34-year-old Kevin Palmer of Wichita, who authorities said stole the vehicle and was arrested after the incident and charged with felony murder. And he absolutely should be charged with felony murder. And matter of fact, when y'all hear how long this fool's rap sheet is, how many of y'all want to hear what his criminal record is? Because I actually have that and I can read it to you so you guys can know why I said he shouldn't even be in our society. Now, the press release stated that Ibarra's family parked the Ford Escape SUV at a restaurant just before noon on February the 6th and went inside to pick up their food, because that's what a lot of us are doing now. We're having to order our food to go. You go in, pick it up, you come back outside, leaving the vehicle running with Ibarra in the back seat on the driver's side. Palmer then jumped into the driver's seat and fled the scene. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying things like, well, they shouldn't have left the car running. They shouldn't have left the girl in the car. To the family, I understand both sides. But here's the side where I really understand that a lot of us do this. This is not a little baby. She was 13 years old. And I'm sure that if they were going in real quick and coming back out, I don't know how many of y'all have teenagers, but I just don't know. I think if it were me, I would have told my daughter to lock the vehicle. It wouldn't have guaranteed that this fool wouldn't have tried to access the vehicle anyway, but I definitely would have locked it. So if they left it unlocked and left it running, I'm sure they have a lot of regrets about that. But I do understand, because like I said, you know, it's a teenager. It's just really, really sad, man. But Ibarra became entangled in the seatbelt on the outside of the door when she attempted to flee the moving vehicle, and the little girl was dragged for several miles, according to the Wichita Police Department, and they released that in their press release. Boy, that is horrible. That is really, really horrible. Got dragged for miles. The Wichita Police Department said that they first received a call from a witness who said that a gray Ford Escape was traveling westbound on Kellogg and Meridian, dragging a female. They said the witness called 911 and followed the vehicle, which they did the right thing. They saw something and said something, and they did something by following the vehicle. I'm sure that had to have been just the worst thing to ever see. Officers who responded to the scene said Palmer stopped the vehicle at Kellogg and West Street and fled on foot before he was caught and arrested. Responding officers also found the Ford Escape with the 13-year-old female caught on the outside of the vehicle, and she was pronounced dead. Police Chief Gordon Ramsay, not to be confused with the guy from Hell's Kitchen, said that this is one of the saddest cases I've ever been associated with in my 28 years of law enforcement. WPD sends its thoughts and prayers to the family and friends and others affected by this tragic incident. The investigation is ongoing, and authorities have also revealed that Palmer, the dude who stole the damn car, has multiple prior convictions. I repeat, that dummy over there on the right-hand side, and I told y'all sometimes you can judge a book by its cover. You look at his face and you could just tell that dude ain't shit. He has multiple prior convictions for felony crimes. He is currently in custody at the Sedgwick County Jail on several charges, including first-degree murder, public records show. Let me see if I can pull up his criminal record. I think some of y'all wanted to hear his criminal record. If you do, let me know in the chat. Hit that thumbs up. Share this stream. Let more people know that we're here talking about this story. Click that thumbs up. But let me see if I can find his actual criminal record. I think I have it here. Let me see what I have. I also need to tell y'all that they do have a GoFundMe up. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Let me see if I can find his criminal record. Give me a moment. I don't see it right away. Well, they said he had multiple felonies. I can't see it. Actually, let me see. It's actually right here. I think I have it. Hold on just a moment. I think I have it. Hold on. So, ongoing case.
Ross, thank you. We continue to follow breaking news from yesterday.
Mute. Okay, I can't see it right now. Let me see if I can find his record. Oh, wow. Here it is. Okay. It's not much information, but you guys can look this up. Again, his name is Kevin Palmer. He's 34 years old. Are y'all ready for this? Kevin Palmer, at 34 years of age, had about a dozen convictions in the past decade for theft, burglary, and fleeing the police. That guy. A dozen convictions in the past decade for theft, burglary, and fleeing the police. That is a long criminal record. And how does somebody like this continue to keep being able to be let back in society and continue to keep failing and failing and failing and failing until somebody dies? Absolutely ridiculous. He should have never been let out of jail. Let me let you guys hear the news videos, but I knew I had it somewhere, but thank y'all for being patient while I looked that up. Fair usage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. That means every single year he averages more than a felony crime per year. I don't understand how you get away with that and still are a free person.
A 13-year-old girl is dead after being dragged by a car on westbound Kellogg. This happened around noon. Police say the girl was in the back seat of her family's car when a suspect stole the vehicle. They say she tried to leave the vehicle while it was moving and then ended up being dragged for several miles. Police eventually stopped the car on Kellogg and West Street. The girl was pronounced dead on the scene. 34-year-old Kevin Palmer was arrested on a charge of felony murder in connection.
Here's the next video. I guess I don't have any sound on this one.
Ross, thank you. We continue to follow breaking news from yesterday that left a 13-year-old girl dead following a car theft. Sean Logging joins us with an update on that investigation.
Family of the 13-year-old girl's Sunday, but they did not wish to speak at this time. It's as we're learning more details about the man police arrested in connection with her death. Saturday around noon, Wichita police say 34-year-old Kevin Palmer stole a car at a restaurant. Investigators say it was left running while the family went inside to pick up food, and the 13-year-old girl decided to remain in the car. As Palmer was driving, police say the girl tried to get out but was caught in the seatbelt. Palmer drove for several miles before police say he stopped near Kellogg and West Street. Palmer then ran from the area but was soon arrested. The 13-year-old girl was pronounced dead. Palmer is being held at Sedgwick County Jail, arrested on suspicion of felony murder. We did look into Palmer's past and found that in the past decade, he's had about a dozen convictions for burglary, theft, and fleeing police. In Wichita, Sean Logging, Eyewitness News.
And set up to help support that family of the 13-year-old girl. We will have that for you linked to our KWCH News app.
Community is mourning the death of 13-year-old.
Let me show you guys their GoFundMe, because they have a GoFundMe up for her also, which is right here. Like I said, I know people might not understand where I'm coming from when it comes to these GoFundMes. My opinion is very harsh. This is the GoFundMe, and as you guys can see, they have a goal. Hold on just a second. Mic check. Okay. Sorry about that. I could tell the mic was low. Sorry about that. They have a GoFundMe up, and the GoFundMe was set. I don't know if it was changed, but it's currently sitting at $75,000. The GoFundMe is currently sitting at a goal of $75,000. I'm going to say that again. A goal of $75,000. In the last case, the last story that we just talked about, there was a mother that was murdered along with her 2 children, and between 3 people, they asked for $10,000 when they were murdered for 3 people. I guess I'm just trying to figure out, I'm sure there has to be some reason, some rationale. There's probably an explanation. Of course, we know that the girl has passed, so, you know, $75,000 GoFundMe. Memorial Fund. Like I said, I'm assuming it has to be for a reason, but you guys can go look that up. I don't really know how y'all feel about that, but like I said, I just feel like we should have life insurance on our children. Don't think about getting life insurance after something happens. That's not the way insurance works. Insurance is preemptive. You get it before something happens, just in case something happens. Just like we all will be born, we all will live, we all will die. So we all human beings should have life insurance. $75,000 is up there. I mean, no disrespect to the family, but y'all know what it is. That's high.
Brianna Ibarra. She was killed over the weekend after a man stole the car she was in. She tried to escape and was dragged by the car. Tonight, the community is coming together to support her family. Carolina Loera hears from a family friend who wants to help them through this difficult time.
And let me say this. If they set a goal maybe lower than that, something that we've seen before, because GoFundMe should not be used as supplemental life insurance. I've already told y'all that's not what crowdfunding is supposed to be for. Set it at 5, set it at 10. I don't think anybody would say anything, but people can donate more than what you set your goal for. That would have been totally understandable if you set a goal for $5,000 to make sure and you know that they could give this baby a proper send away, a proper burial, and if people want to contribute more than that, then then they can. But when it comes to, I know people are talking about medical bills and all of that. You're supposed to take care of that stuff anyway. That's not society's job to take care of that. Even though something tragic has happened, we have to be able to see both sides. We have to be able to feel empathy and feel sad that something has happened, and we also have to understand that there are parts that us as parents and as adults need to take care of, especially when it comes to our family members and our children. We got to see both sides.
Tragedy. What happened to that family? Horrible. Horrible. There was just nothing that could have been done in that situation.
The Wichita community is mourning the death of Brianna Ibarra, who was killed over the weekend.
I've been very devastated. My heart has been broken.
Brianna died when a man stole the car she was in and drove off. Wichita police say as Brianna was trying to escape the moving car, she got caught in the seatbelt and died. And now community members are stepping in to help the family.
People want to help. It's a community feeling that we all feel. The world is so heavy right now.
Sherry Becker says her husband worked with Brianna's father for years. And even though she never met Brianna, she wants to make sure the family is taken care of. So she started raising donations for them through a Venmo account. And the community has responded.
People's hearts are big. And it's been shown to me in many, many ways over the last few days.
Okay, let's pause for a moment. Let's pause and please click that thumbs up. Thank you so much for posting that. I have a question. I'm gonna rewind this and let y'all hear what they just said. The lady that you see on my screen right there has a Venmo account that they opened up that she says she's been getting hundreds and in some cases thousands of dollars raising for the family. Does anybody see something a bit odd with that? I do. What's the odd thing about them having a Venmo account open? That's right. They have a $75,000 GoFundMe that already has accumulated more than $50,000. And on top of that, a Venmo account that's already getting thousands of dollars also, in addition to the GoFundMe. I'm going to rewind it and let y'all hear it for yourself. I just think that's a bit much, man. Yes, it's 2 accounts. Because Venmo, I know what the hell a Venmo is. Let's not get it twisted. GoFundMe and Venmo are 2 different things. Maybe somebody needs to come out and clarify that.
People want to help. It's a community feeling that we all feel. The world is so heavy right now.
Sherry Becker says her husband worked with Brianna's father for years, and even though she never met Brianna, she wants to make sure the family is taken care of. So she started raising donations for them through a Venmo account, and the community has responded.
People's hearts are big, and it's been shown to me in many, many ways over the last few days.
A Venmo account plus a $75,000 GoFundMe. I'm just saying it's peculiar to me. I'm not trying to say that their daughter isn't worth it. I'm not trying to say that they don't deserve what people feel like they want to donate. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that is a lot. That is a lot. $75,000 plus a Venmo.
I mean, a donation from $1 to $1,000 so far. The phone calls, the checks.
Sherry says the family needs all the support they can get.
They're just hurting.
And she said checks also. Wow. Damn.
As anyone would be.
In Wichita, Carolina Loera, Eyewitness News.
And she said checks on top of that. Yo, look, I know that's not the main point of this video. Look, the main point of my video was to say this. I know people are not going to understand why as a parent you would leave your 13-year-old in a car while you run into a store. I'm okay with them doing that. This shouldn't have happened because he should have never been out of jail, so this thing should never have happened. Okay? That's the root of it. He should have never been out of jail. This might not have happened. Okay? Now, if it were me, I'd have my 13-year-old lock the door if you want to leave them in the car. That's not an odd thing to do. It's a teenager. It's not a baby. That's a teenage girl. It should be safe enough for you to leave. Basically, a kid who's only a couple years away, maybe 2 years away from being able to drive a car. That's why I'm throwing it out there. Think about that for a moment. For those of y'all who think that this baby might have been a bit too young to be left in the car by herself, she would have been only 24 months away from being able to drive. "13 is probably the proper age to leave your kid in the car, because it's technically not a kid, it's a teenager, okay? So let's get past that. I don't want anybody to look at the family side-eye for that. That's totally understandable. The other big point about this is, like I say, the fact that this dude stole the damn car. That's where the problem starts. And he's a repeat criminal, a repeat felon, and the fact that he's been doing it over the past decade. Last but not least, I don't even want to talk about that GoFundMe anymore. I just think it's important for us to have life insurance. It's very affordable. We should have life insurance. There's no need to do GoFundMes. Have life insurance on yourselves, on your kids, on your grandkids. Just make sure that we all have it. We all will inevitably meet our demise at some point, okay? So hopefully everybody understands where I'm coming from. I'm going to end that story by just saying, Brianna Ibarra, R.I.P. Princess, R.I.P. Hope we get justice against this dude, and he should never be allowed to see the light of day again. I'm DJ Just Jay with the AFC, where we advocate for children first. From my heart to yours, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to this stream, and we'll see you guys. We got more stories to report and talk to about, okay? Thank you. Thank you guys so much for listening to this stream, and I got a little bit of work to do here tonight to try to prepare these videos for the premiere tomorrow, so you guys can watch these in a much more condensed form. But thank y'all so much. Thank you to those who were able to donate. If you were not able to donate, you could always click the thumbs up. You could always do something small. share the videos, subscribe to the channel. And also, if you guys want updates, if you want to know when we're going live next, if you want to hear me post about updates or even ask me questions, an easy place to do it is in my community tab. So you guys can catch me there. I'll try to fix this audio. I can see it's something wrong with it, but I'll try to fix it on the next time around so I don't have to just talk in the mic like this. Okay? But thank you guys so much. Thank you also. I think we got everybody. So you guys have a great night. Show some love to our sponsors. We'll see you guys on the next stream. Peace.
Hey there, listeners. Are you looking for authentic design from brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Coach, Gucci, Michael Kors, and so much more at a price that you can actually afford? Well, let me introduce you to Nora's Authentic Designer handbags, shoes, and accessories, where we have designs to meet all of your needs. All items are 100% authentic, brand new, and being sold at prices you don't want to miss out on. Find us on Tradesy.com, at Nora's 915, or email us at norasauthenticdesign@gmail.com. Hey there, listeners! Are you looking for authentic design from brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Coach, Gucci, Michael Kors, and so much more at a price that you can actually afford? Well, let me introduce you to Nora's Authentic Designer handbags, shoes, and accessories, where we have designs to meet all of your needs. All items are 100% authentic, brand new, and being sold at prices you don't want to miss out on. Find us today on Tradesy.com, at Nora's 915, or email us at norasauthenticdesign@gmail.com.
Hello listeners, come mask up with Keyline Designs, where you reap what we sow. We offer essential handcrafted face masks made with 100% cotton, equipped with a built-in filter and a slot for refillable filters. Our masks have many uses like riding motorcycles, ATVs, while out in public places, outside exercising, lawn and gardening, and helps prevent the spread of germs. We offer bling, sports logos, monograms, many assorted fabrics and colors. We make child-size masks starting at the age of 2. Come join us today for the launch of our new website at keylinedesigns.com. Please be sure to like and follow our page on Facebook. Our links can be found in the description box of this video. Thank you.